PC, so you can control things like Droid Star settings rather than trying to manipulate the phone between screens. It can all be done on the PC, which is quite handy. I was trying to get DMR running on Droid Star, but I didn't have much success at that because the codecs just wouldn't load on it. But not too worried, because the feedback generally seems to be that the audio is not that good on DMR on that at the moment. So with that, I'll put it back to you then, Jeff. November Tango from GM4JKZ.
Okay, Keith, that's very interesting. Could you spell out that program? What is the name of that program? And that's for Windows, I think. Could you spell out the name of the program, please?
Yeah, it's Viver, Victor, Yankee, Sierra. It's Oscar Radio, Visor, VYSOR. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Keith. Yeah, I heard about that. That's good. That's something to explore. That's something to explore. Thank you very much. That's a very good beginning of the net, so to say. Very good tip. Okay, let's go to Germany, because I think they have a lot to tell about their adventures there with the U-boat. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey Delta Lima 8 PDT, the group of an 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Mike and Adriana.
Very good evening to all. This is Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yeah. First of all, the WX. Jeff, normally if you talk about your WX, we will get that just a day later. I hope fervently that this will not be the case, because today weather was much more favorable than at your QTH, but it was very cold. We had some rain, but not much. Sun always trying to come out, but temperature in the morning was only about 7 degrees centigrade, and at noontime it was about 14 degrees, so also very much colder than say 3 days ago on the weekend. And the autumn has definitely come now. One word to the video in the Zoom session from yesterday. That was very impressive, very good, and I think it's really a very great success that Nick could persuade Tim G5TM to give a talk on Pennine Ham Zoom, which was very interesting in itself and very enlightening, and giving much advice. But even getting Tim to consider joining the club as a free member, that's really excellent. Hope that this will go through. Keeping my fingers crossed. That would be, how do you call it? I think really a feather in Nick's cap and in all our caps, so to speak. Yeah. More to our weekend experience, perhaps in the next over. Handing the microphone for now to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango for the group. Very good evening to all of you, and good to be able to talk to you from here. When I imagine how it has been last week, when we arrived at Labo very, very late, and I sent a message to Nick compared to this. Yes, it's quite a feeling to have all this done. So we will report later. And yes, thank you very much for yesterday's Zoom meeting. It was fabulous, and I think it's always very good to have such people here in the club to give us a talk with so many experiences in portable operations and in antennas and so on. And it's always very good to learn so many things. So with this, I hand the microphone back to Oscar November 8, November Tango for the group.
Okay, Roger, Delta Lima 1, Bravo Juliet Whiskey, and Delta Lima 8, Bravo Delta Tango. Very, then absolutely right, autumn is coming. Very quickly, I think. I said 18 degrees, but that's totally wrong. Actually, at the maximum, it was 18 degrees. This morning, it was 9 degrees, and around noon, 14 degrees. And in the late afternoon, there was some sunshine, and it was 18 degrees. So not a very good day. And indeed, I agree. The Zoom session was very, very interesting. I really like the examples he gave and the practicality of his whole speech about different aspects, batteries, antennas, and so on and so on. So I really, really enjoy that. I just take a quick look to Visor, to that program mentioned by Keith, and it seems to have a Mac and a Linux version. So that's brilliant. That's good news. Okay, go. Let's go to our other German Frank. Frank, Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee, the Grupo, and 8 November Tango.
Yes, hello, good evening. The weather report here is also being cold. Has become cold right after Sunday, after Adriana and Mike left. They took the summer with them. And I just, out of curiosity, checked the temperature at one of my bat boxes, which reports the bat activity, but also the temperature at the box. The box is hanging here at a tree in Kiel, about 3 meters above the ground, and I thought, to my surprise, that the last night the temperature went down to 4 degrees Celsius. Here around the house, it did not get so cold, but on an exposed tree, it went down to 40 degrees. And today it did not go up above 11 degrees, but it is under the tree, not in the sun. It felt warmer a little bit. We had a lot of sun. And currently we have an aurora warning. I received a warning. There's a very good chance of visible polar lights today or tonight. And I'm watching the different values on some internet pages. Looks good. Seems like the CME has arrived a little bit too early, but the values are still favorable for visible polar lights, and we'll take a look later. I thought about heading out, but there are still some clouds, and now the moon is back after new moon, so the conditions are not the best. I will probably try to watch it from home and have a GoPro camera taking pictures every 15 seconds so that I can see tomorrow when I read out the SD card if there has been polar lights. Because I'm also a little bit tired, not because of the weekend activity, which was really great and a lot of fun, and we will probably talk about that, but I also was to Hamburg last night for a concert. I've slept not so much. So this week is really packed with activity and stuff, and that was really an exciting week. And but now first back to Jeff 188NT.
Thank you, Delta Golf Zero Oscar Alpha Yankee. The Grupo in 8 November Tango. Thank you very much for that information and interesting about the aurora. If you have some nice pictures, don't hesitate to put them onto the WhatsApp group. That's good fun and that's interesting, I think. And maybe it's also a good idea to listen to VHF to see if there is any aurora maybe later this night. I will try to do that. Okay, go. Nick, go for is India Whiskey Oscar. The group for 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Nick.
Yes, ON8 November Tango in the group. This is G4IWO. Yeah, good evening, Jeff, and good evening to everyone on the net this evening. Very, very pleased to get back here. I nearly didn't. Sadly, or very nicely, I spent the day at our daughter's house doing some work in her kitchen as she was having a new fridge freezer arrive, and it required some rebuilding of the kitchen cupboards and lots of banging and sawing. So that's what I've done all day, and I literally got home in time to grab some food and get onto the net just as Jeff was saying hello to everybody. So I have now put this live on YouTube, so it will go out, not just it's live streaming now, but it will go out for people to pick up during the week. And we did have a lot of listeners to the channel that picked it up during the week. So good evening to those that pick up on YouTube. Jeff, that was just a quick over from me, just to check that the audio was going okay before I carried on. Over.
No problem, Nick. Go ahead.
Yeah, Oscar November 8 November Tango G4IWO returning. Yeah, thank you very much. I usually do that before we start and thought I'd better do it rather than talk on and realise no one can hear me. As for last night's talk, I was really delighted with Tim's contribution. I've never met Tim before. I've watched some of his videos on YouTube. I've read some of his articles that he's published, and I've very much enjoyed his videos, and I've enjoyed his articles, and I was right, I think, in thinking that he would make a great speaker to the club. So it was great to have him as our first online talk at Pennine Ham last night, which was really good news. The only problem for me was that I had some connectivity problems as the meeting went on. And I usually put out the video straight away afterwards on YouTube. But because I just wanted to double check the ending of it and ensure that there was a proper beginning and end to the video, I'm going to do that, and I now won't be able to do that until tomorrow. So my apologies. I did post that on the WhatsApp group earlier this evening. Yeah, not only Tim's not the only one that's joined. We've had another radio amateur, John G3SAO, who dropped us a note today, who was a free member of the club, has decided that on reflection, he'd like to become a paid member of the club. So a very big welcome to John when he gets confirmation from Rachel, and great to welcome him into the paid membership of the club. So we are doing fantastically well. And I was very pleased to welcome Marek to our WhatsApp group this morning, who's been unable to join us for a whole pile of reasons. And I've got no doubt he's going to make a great contribution to the WhatsApp group and hopefully to the club when he's able to get along to our meetings. So more on the next over. I'll pass it back to you, Jeff. ON8 November Tango, G4IWO.
For IWO, the group. ON8 November Tango. Well, that's good news about him becoming a member. And John also, G3SAO, and Marek joining the WhatsApp group and the club. That's very good news, Nick. I also know John, G3SAO, because in the past sometimes joined the old ham radio net on the Sunday morning, but now it's not possible anymore to do that because of other things that I have to do on a Sunday morning. So okay, and a very good evening or day or whatever to the viewers on YouTube. Very welcome, and hope you enjoy the net. And I must say, I was also very late this evening. Because I got a message from Ken about Droidstar, and he wants to know what the codec he should use, but I just answered him 10 minutes before the net. So I'm quite sure that he will probably not manage to join us anyway, but probably the next time. Okie doke, let's go to the States. November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango, the group of an 8 November Tango. Good afternoon, Bob.
November 8, November Tango, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. First of all, good afternoon, good evening to all that are listening or on the net. I haven't had a good day since yesterday afternoon. I had a major crash. My major disk went down, and I'm trying to recover almost 3 terabytes of information. I started yesterday right after the net, and right now it has looked at about 50% of the disk, and I'm hoping that I can recover some of it. One of the problems when it does recover, the stuff isn't in the same order that it was originally. It just picks up whatever it picks up off the disk, I guess, in the order that it sees it. So
November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. Bob, I lost you. I probably the others lost you too. Could you try again? November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango, Bob. We lost you. We lost you in the middle of your expose. Could you come back, Bob? November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango, the group of an 8 November Tango. Okay, I will go to Pete, and maybe after Pete we could give Bob another chance. Bob, if you hear this, we lost you. So Pete, Gold Mike 4 Juliet Kilo Zulu, the group of an 8 November Tango.
8 November Tango with the group GM4JKZ. Yeah, he just disappeared. Excuse me. Yes, the talk by Tim last night was excellent. I thought presentation was superb, and a wealth of information there. And I did like Ken's the Ethernet antenna video that he put on the WhatsApp group this afternoon. Very interesting, although I did have a look. I haven't any long lengths of Ethernet cable at the moment. They're all embedded in the roof space. And the other video that I thought was absolutely brilliant was Mike and Adriana's when they did their visit to the submarine. Absolutely fascinating. And I thought the video itself, the camera work was just brilliant. So I think we're going from strength to strength here, Jeff, in our little group, which is expanding. And welcome to the new members, of course, from this neck of the woods up here in the borders. So I'll keep it short again. With that, I'll put it back to you, Jeff. 8 November Tango. We'll pause if Bob's around from GM4JKZ.
November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. You copying me now?
Good copy now, Bob. We lost you in the middle of your speech, so to say. So go ahead, Bob.
I don't know where you lost me, Jeff, so I may repeat myself. I had a major disk crash last night at the end of our session, and I've lost almost 3 terabytes of information. So there was no parts from here today. I'm trying to recover the stuff, and
I lost Bob again. Sorry, Bob. I lost Bob again. November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. Could you try again? I understand that you had a crash from your hard disk there, which is a pain, really a pain. So November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango, the group of 8 November Tango. We lost you again, Bob.
ON8 NFT. Do you have me now? Jeff? Do you have me now? Over.
Good copy, Bob. Go ahead.
ON8.
What's happening? I had to crash yesterday, and maybe because I'm using substitute equipment, maybe that's the problem. I did read the EURA September edition this morning. I did get that out of the way. I loved Tim's presentation yesterday. It was a fantastic way to start our meeting off online. Thank you, Frank, especially for that wide-angle photo from in the radio room. I forget what you call that. I know you showed it to me before, but I forget what you call that. And I'll put it back to you this time, Jeff, just hoping that I'm still there. ON8NT, November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango.
ON.
Okay, Bob, that was 100% copy this time. And I agree. I mean, the video of the U-boat, that was superb. I really, really like that. And sorry to hear about the crash, Bob. That's 3 terabyte lost. I think that's what you said. So that's not pleasant at all. I can imagine that you had a whole day necessary to try to put everything back in order. And yeah, I haven't seen the video from Ken from this afternoon because I just came home maybe 15 minutes before the net here, but I will try to catch that tomorrow or maybe this evening. Okay, let's go to Germany again and probably some more information and news and experiences there about your U-boat experience. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey and Delta Lima 8 PDT, the group of 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Mike and Adriana.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey, yeah. Thank you. First of all, Bob, I hope that you can repair the damage there with a hard disk failure. That's disturbing to hear. All the very best. As I said, we had a tremendous weekend last weekend. It was from Thursday to Sunday. We had a stay in Laboe near Kiel on the coast of the Baltic Sea, and had a really a very, very good experience. Also thanks to the help and the good preparation of Frank, Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee, and Stefan Delta Foxtrot 5 Hotel Sierra, if I remember correctly. I'm not quite sure about that. They gave us to get lots of information about the museum vessel submarine U995 in Laboe. But also the possibility to study it from the inside for a very long time and very intensely, and of course to work or to operate the radio room inside the submarine, which was a very special occasion for us and a very good experience. And time flies by, I can tell you that. I didn't notice that we had spent all in all 5 hours there in the radio room and inside the submarine. I was very astonished to look on my watch and see that so much time has passed. It was very interesting, and we worked quite a lot of stations there. That was excellent. The word to the antenna. I think Nick yesterday on Zoom asked about it, and we had some troubles with our audio, though, so I couldn't answer that. If I remember correctly, the antenna of the submarine was end-fed random wire antenna of about 30 meters length. Between the turret of the submarine in the middle of the ship and the tip or the nose of the submarine, a little bit sloping towards the nose. And we were using 20 watts on FT8 and 50 watts on SSB, and got fabulous results there. 20 watts all over Europe, into European Russia, and over to North America, up to Texas, I think, some N5 stations. And on the other side, excuse me, SSB contacts in the contest which was happening at that time on last Saturday, into not only all over Europe, but also
My apologies to YouTube listeners. We seem to have lost connection through to Germany from DL1BJW. Hopefully he will come back up again. On 8 November Tango G4IWO.
Yeah, as Mike just said, it was quite an interesting journey, and it was a great experience at the U995. Was fantastic to be able to work from there and to have the impression how it slight impression how it must be to work there really at the U-boat. During the time when we have been operating there had been several visitors who went through the museum ship, and several cruise ships are landing at Kiel. and some of the visitors there are brought to Labo, which is not far away, and all of them want to take a look at the U995, and so Stefan and Frank had much to do to introduce amateur radio and the Enigma to them, and this is quite interesting too. Yes, I had quite an experience with my SDX during this journey. I took only my True SDX with me, and the battery, the 12 volt battery, and the connection for FTA there, which I can work with my handheld there. And yes, we had no good HF location. I thought we had been on the ground floor of the guest house there, and there was no possibility to hang out the antenna on top of the tree also, because everything was very narrow. The parking slot was not far away, but I have been able to put the antenna right through the room and a little bit outside, and there was some seating facility, which we call Strandkorb in Germany, beach chair, and around the beach chair and onto the bushes, and with this ANFET half-wave and the Elecraft tuner and only 3 watts, I worked in FT8 all over Europe, and I had been heard even in North America. It was quite amazing, this little thing. Yes, but the main experience was the U995, and it was such a good time with Stefan and with Frank, and it was so inspiring that yes, everything which we had to do on the way home and the way to Labo was worth it. It was quite well. So I hand the microphone back to Oscar, November 8, November Tango for the group.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike and Adriana. Delta Lima 1, Bravo Juliet Whiskey, and Delta Lima 8 DDT, the group of an 8 November Tango, and very interesting to hear about your experiences there. Must be fascinating, and actually the video tells a little bit what you have experienced there. Really fascinating. And sorry to hear about the breakdown of the car. Yeah, that's not pleasant. If you have to wait for 3 hours and 30 degrees, that's not a pleasure. And okay, Adriana, about your True SDX. I first of all, before I move to Frank, I would like to give the microphone to Nick, because I'm not sure if he is still with us, because he was breaking in between Mike and Adriana. So Nick, do you still have a copy on us? Go for India Whiskey Oscar and 8 November Tango.
Oh, and 8 November Tango from G4IWO. Yeah, Jeff, I came back in again. I had to try a couple of times by transmitting when Mike was talking, and eventually when Adriana was talking, the stream came back on again. So we're all back and back on live again, and apologies to those people listening on YouTube for the loss of the audio for a little while. Back to you, Jeff. Oh, and 8NT G4IWO.
Okay, thank you, Nick. G4IWO, the group of an 8 November Tango. Let's go to Frank now, because this was all thanks to Frank, I think, the story with the U-boat. So Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee, the group of an 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Frank.
say, first it was great that Adrian and I did not return home, but went through and made it to Library. And on Saturday morning I arrived a little bit earlier, set up the station, and then we met, and I took them to the submarine. And I thought there was a 90% chance that they would like it, and that there was a 10% chance that they would dislike it. But it went to the 90% range, and they really liked it because I said, if you'd like to know how Bob feels, and if you'd like to know why Bob always comes to Lebu, then you have to sit there and do some radio stuff. Then you will understand why Bob is so fascinated by the submarine. And so I placed them both in the radio room, so they had to work. I let them work. I didn't have to work myself. And they immediately they started, and that was really fun to see. And I could focus on the kids passing by. There were lots of visitors, and I have some games for the kids so that I can tell them about radio waves and stuff, and we can experiment a little bit with radio waves. I have I'm using a cell phone charger, an inductive cell phone charger emitting a radio field, and then I'm using small LEDs with coils and capacitors for picking up the radio waves, creating blinking lights. And then I ask them if it's magic what I'm doing or if it's physics, and the kids always say it's physics, and they are right. And then we play with radio waves, and I hope they learn something and pick up something that they'll remember for more than a day. And we also play with Morse code, and of course everyone can have a look at the Enigma, which is really an attraction. And because of that, I invited Stefan, the Delta Fox 5 Hotel Sierra, to display the Enigma and support us a little bit, and that was great. We were 4 radio amateurs there, and we had so much fun. And yes, like Adriana said, probably there was a cruise ship in Kiel, and lots of Spanish-speaking people came through the submarine. You never know what visitors you get, and usually they are really curious and interested. Some just pass by and want to get out, maybe because very cramped there and they cannot stand that and want to get out again. I can understand that, but if they have some time, then they can get a lot of information, and the time flies by. For me, it's always like the whole weekend, and I'm always surprised that after the Saturday, there's another free day. And my timer, just a moment. Now I repeat. And that, as I said, that was so much fun, and I didn't have to work. Mike and Adriana were doing all the work. Right now, back to the polar lights. I'm standing here at the window facing towards north, and I can see polar lights. For me, from my naked eyes, it's just a faint glow, but the complete northern horizon has a faint glow. I cannot see colors, but my son did a long-time exposure of about 10 or 15 seconds or so with a camera, and we can see colors on the photos. So with the naked eyes, it's not strong enough. But there is currently visible aurora going on here in at least in northern Germany. Hope it's also visible from Oldenburg. If you can get out, try to get out and take some long-time exposures. But you will notice that there is a glow all over the northern horizon. So it cannot be the sunset because that is more or less a little bit yellow or orange tinted, and that one is a cold. At least you can see the colors also kind of cold glow, and it's all over the northern horizon, so it cannot be the sun, and the long-time exposures tell us it's really polar lights. And now I have to see what my son is doing and what kind of pictures he can get from that. So that's, what an amazing week. With that, I will give the microphone back to Jeff 0880.
Roger, Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee over 8 November Tango. Yeah, thank you. Very interesting. And very nice that you also doing some educational things with kids and so on. That's really fascinating. And interesting also about the aurora, the polar light that you see. I'm not sure if that will be possible here because it's quite overcast with heavy black clouds, so maybe that will be difficult here. But anyway, I will try to get an eye on that this evening. And I see that Mike Zero, Alpha India Alpha, is also online through GB7HX Bull. Well, I will put you after Bob, after Nick and Bob, and then I will give you the microphone. So let's go to Golf 4 India Whiskey Oscar, the group 08 November Tango. Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, and seeing the group from G4IWO. Yeah, I'd have to say, Mike and Adriana, I loved your video. I thought it was really lovely. The pictures were fantastic, and the comments that you made and so on. It was just a really nice little video. And Frank, you've added to it enormously by your description of your 2 days there with visitors on the boat. And I'm sure that they found it as fascinating as we did, just the little glimpse of it, the little taster we got, the teaser we got from Mike and Adriana there on the video. Just going back to WX here, up in the southern Pennines of northern England, temperature here is currently 8 degrees. We were just beneath 3 degrees this morning. We're forecast to drop much colder tonight. So conditions are very strange, because next week I'm really pleased at the moment that the Met Office here are suggesting that the temperature is going to be 18 degrees on Tuesday and Wednesday, and sunny and no rain. And if that is the case, I will definitely on Wednesday go up onto the Pennine Hills and take the radio and do some portable operation. And I'll post that on the WhatsApp group, and it will be great fun if we could make some contacts with Pennine Ham members, and I'll see if it's also possible to stream some of it on Zoom or YouTube, given that I've got a very, very good digital phone connection from the location I go to up on the Pennine Bridleway, which is part of the Parks on the Air in the UK. And incidentally, and particularly Bob N4XAT will be interested in this. The Parks on the Air team here in the UK have really stepped up the admission of more parks into POTA, and every day now they're posting a list of the new parks that are coming up. And I think we're going from a very small number to potentially a very, very much larger number over the coming weeks and months. So that's a fantastic advert for a great way of enjoying radio. And if I go up onto the hills next week, I'm going to take my latest little toy, which I decided is definitely needed in the winter months when the ground is very damp. I've bought a high-backed, extremely lightweight camping chair. It weighs less than under 2 kilograms and packs up into a very, very small little bag that you can carry or put in your rucksack. And I'm looking forward to sitting on that chair and operating radio from it on Wednesday. Fingers crossed if the weather holds. Back to you, Jeff. ON8NT in the group G4IWO.
For IWO, the group 08 November Tango. Yeah, okay, Nick, and I'm looking But anyway, I give you another chance, Paul. Mike 0 Alpha India Alpha, the group 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Paul. Nothing heard from Paul. Okay, so probably like a couple of weeks ago, he's waiting for the bus, and then he was able to say hello very shortly, but maybe he's not in a position to do that again. So let's go to Golf Mike 4 Juliet Kilo Zulu. The group 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, 8 November Tango with the group GM4JKZ, and I was looking forward to bus mobile from Paul. Didn't quite get it, did we, last time? Okay then. Firstly, Bob, 26 to 27 degrees. I'm envious of your temperature there. We've now dropped to 7.5 degrees up here, Celsius. So, and no heating at the moment. We're trying to keep it off until October at the earliest or latest, depending on what's going to happen. But yes, they did say that we're going to have some better weather next week, which should be good. So I shall listen out for you, Nick, on the hills down there. And yeah, Frank and Adriana, that video, I actually watched it twice. It was riveting. It was so interesting, I must admit. So well done for that. And yeah, as Bob says, or Nick said, it filled in some gaps now with you explaining how the team was managing the people through and the radio at the same time. One thing I did do last night, I did go online after the meeting with Jim, G4JDA, who will be joining the 9th decade tomorrow. He's off on holiday at the moment in South Wales, so he's probably enjoying the weather down there. I think it's raining at the moment. But yeah, I do go look at Ultramax batteries, and there's a firm in the UK called what are they called now? The Battery Masters. They have a 12 volt, 18 ampere hour lithium battery designed for golf carts. Golf club carts, reduced from 187 to 103.99, and it weighs 2.2 kilos. And looks quite interesting. Comes complete with charger, all the connectors, including T-bar or Torbury as well. UK plug, of course, 1 year warranty, fast charger, and free delivery. And it also comes with the fireproof bag that it fits into. And I thought that was quite interesting. I don't know what the price was on the Ultramax website because they don't put it there, but this looked quite good, I must admit. So another one to go on the list of must-haves. So they did do, I think Tim was saying that they do a 24 ampere hour for about 140, but this looked quite interesting weight-wise as well. Oh, okay. I made one other. Oh, thanks, Aurora. Yeah, I've been looking out the window, but I've got sort of a bright orange right on the horizon tonight, which must be the sun going down. But I shall keep popping up there every 5 minutes to see what I can see. And the last thing I've got to say is congratulations, Adriana. 3 watts all over Europe and being heard in the USA as well. Not quite as good as your 1 watt, but 3 watts is astonishing in my book. With that, back to you, Jeff. 8 November Tango from GM4JKZ.
GM4JKZ, the group 8 November Tango. That's absolutely true. The key 3 watts to the States. That's with a compromise antenna, as I understood the explanation from Adriana. So that's
ON8NT G4IWO. ON8NT G4IWO.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Julie Whiskey. First of all, Bob, perhaps as I didn't get the name correctly, which you mentioned there of the Navy personage, I didn't get it correctly. Manfred, but I didn't get the family name. Perhaps you can mail it to us, and we will look it up in Wilhelmshaven and see if we can find something there. It's not something which is known to me, but we can look for it. And Frank, thank you very much for the advice about the Northern Lights. We will actually, after the digital net, go upstairs and take a look out of the windows with all lights out and see if we can see something or see something on the long-term photography there. Here in the city, it's always difficult, unfortunately. But I think there will be some spectacular visions at the North Sea shore, and perhaps in the next nights there will also be opportunities. I hope so. But we will take a look this evening, 100%. And yeah, something I wanted to add. What was it? Keith, thank you for the advice with the antenna there, with the battery there. We've bought lithophobia battery just 3 weeks ago, I think, from a German retailer who was actually, as I discovered when it was delivered here, a Chinese retailer residing in Germany. And it's worthy. And this has a denomination of 12.8 volts with 30 amp hours, and costs about 100 euros, which is, I think, a bargain. But of course, you have to go for extras as the appropriate cables and the charger, which is definitely not included. With this added to the price, I think you will have to pay about 160 euros for the 30 amp hour, which is not bad, considered that most of the known battery brands are much more expensive. But when we have more experience with the new battery, we will report on it on the net. Let's wait and see. So I'll put the microphone to, no, I had one thing to add. Radio-wise, there's nothing much I can report, except that I was going CW a little bit and had a contact into French Guyana in the northern part of South America, Foxtrot Yankee 5 Kilo Echo. And I had a nice long chat with our friend Brian, ZL3XDJ in New Zealand, also on CW in the morning. He's mostly on between, let me see, yeah, that must be 5:30 and 6:30 UTC, or 6:30 and 7:30 British Standard Time. And he can be heard quite clearly, himself using about 200 watts and only vertical antennas. And I had 75 watts from the IC7300 and end-fed half-wave only 4 meters above the ground. So no big deal, but it was a successful contact, a nice chat about 10 minutes or so, and that was very satisfying. So, putting the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango. Yes, first of all, thank you to all of you who mentioned the video. I'm very glad that you found it okay, and it was such a pleasure to put all the pictures and the short films together and to make the video for to remember all the things we had seen and we could do there. So it was just a pleasure for us. And yes, I saw it has got 116 lookups up until now, so it's very good, very good. Yes, radio-wise, I think I'll make some further tests for the TrueSDX during the next times. It's as always a real pleasure to work with this little radio, and I have got the Kanga kit to solder, but I haven't just not started for it. I got the version for 20 meters, so it will be very interesting if this will work and if I could figure it out. So this is all from my side. I have the microphone back to Oscar November 8 November Tango for the group.
Okay, Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey and Delta Lima 8 BDP. My congratulations on your CW compacts. They're brilliant. Very, very good. That's the real thing. I think CW I should try to learn that also, but lack of time. As I'm on a pension, I have a lack of time. And okay, Adriana, I think your video is a piece of art for radio amateurs at least. It's very, very fascinating. So it's not just a video, okay, but it's a piece of art. So congratulations on that. I think you are probably the director in the video room. I don't know, but it's very well made. Okay, let's go to our other German friend, Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee, the group 1 8 November Tango.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Yes, I completely forgot to mention the video, and yeah, I can really recommend it. It tells a short story about entering a submarine during the activity there, and I also take videos from time to time, but I have only short snippets, and yeah, I do collect them. I store them on my hard disk, but I never built such a video which tells a story, and so Adriana really made the story so that everyone can understand why it was so fascinating there, and you can probably imagine a little bit how cramped it is there, and also I like the pictures towards the end around the sunset or after sunset, because there are some nice scenes around that time, and usually I've already packed my stuff, and I'm on my way home when that happens. Next time I visit the submarine, maybe next month or so, or towards the end of the month, I will be back there. I will try to I try to include weather. And after the activity, when the submarine has been closed, it's not long until sunset, and then I should stay there for another hour and take also some pictures and of the nice scenery. Then when the sunset and everything is put into yellow and orange colors. While I was listening to this, I was also observing the sky here, and we had some nice beamers. It looks like searchlights. These are only vertical lights, always vertical. And yeah, it looks like a searchlight, and they are very good visible to the naked eye. While the colors, I still haven't seen colors. On the pictures, the polar lights have been red and towards the horizon green. Beautiful colors, but not for the naked eye. But these beamers are very good visible, and I've been watching the beamers for some time. Now the activity has gone currently, but I know that the last times we were watching polar lights, there was one wave arriving after the other. You don't know when the next wave will be arriving, but usually there have been several waves of particles, and I think somewhere in August, the first polar lights in August brought us several waves, and it was actually active from sunset to sunrise. All the night there was one wave after the other. Oh, sorry, I have to unmute just a moment. That was my timer, and I will try to put it good now. So currently there's no activity visible, but there could be the next wave. I can just hope that there's another wave coming, and maybe Mike and Adriana can also see something. Don't give up. If there's nothing visible, wait half an hour or so. Take some long time exposures with a digital camera, or sometimes even the cell phones do support it. The pictures on the cell phones are not good, but they do show you if there is something going on, and then you know it makes sense to take a real digital camera, set it to a 10 or 15 seconds at a high ISO value, and then you will get polar lights. So that the cell phone is a good detector, but the digital camera makes better pictures. I will try to send Adriana some pictures from tonight, and maybe a night lapse video. I've also a camera set up doing pictures every 50 seconds, so that I might have a night lapse video tomorrow. And so Adriana can post them to the Facebook groups, WhatsApp or whatever, because I'm not, I don't have accounts at data companies that have WhatsApp and that stuff. I try to avoid that. They are so data hungry. So that was probably almost 4 minutes or so. So I'll give the microphone back to Jeff, or ask number 8 in a rectangle.
Okay, Frank, Delta Golf 0. Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee. 08 November Tango. Yes, some good points there. Through Michael and send them so that you can see them on WhatsApp. I agree a little bit with you. I actually started with WhatsApp since we had that for the club, because Facebook or doing what is it? A Pinterest account. But when I took my pension, I radically stopped with that, because it's too much hassle, I think. But anyway, thanks to the club, I joined WhatsApp, and that's quite interesting, especially as we all try to keep on topic and not telling all kinds of strange stories and trying. Okay, no, Nick, go for India Whiskey Oscar, the group of an 8 November Tango.
Yeah, so an 8 November Tango from G4IWO. Yeah, I'd be very interested to see the photographs, and if Adriana or Mike are able to post them up, that would be interesting, I think, for everybody. So thank you for that, Frank. Yeah, just a couple of bits. We're preparing here for the National Ham Fest down at Newark, which is in a couple of weeks' time. And Jeff, M0AUG, myself and Ken, G4VZV, are going to be looking after the table there. We have a leaflet to hand out at the rally about the club and what we are and what we're doing. And that's due to come, I think, from the printers tomorrow, which will be very good. And we are to take that with me down to the National Ham Fest. We've got some cards to hand away. We're going to take a screen and laptop and play some of the videos while we're down there, including that of U995, and hopefully chat to a lot of people. The other thing I think that we need to talk about in the members meeting in a couple of weeks' time, because we've got another speaker next week, VA3MW, on setting up and running a remote HF station, which more and more radio amateurs are doing, either as individuals or sometimes in clubs or groups. So that will be, I think, an interesting meeting as well. But when we have our members meeting, we can have a chat about the HF net. We had various suggestions on the WhatsApp group, because we did have a very successful, even though conditions were not brilliant, a little jump into 40 meters the other day, and we picked up some very nice friends through that net we ran there. So it'd be good to do it more frequently. And just to pick up Frank's comment about children and their interest, my daughter, who is a science teacher in a school in a northwest city here, is very keen to get going in the school a demonstration of amateur radio through satellites and as well through the International Space Station. So we're working on two things with her. One is to make an application through ARISS, the amateur radio in the International Space Station program, for a slot for next year for her school. And Marek, our new member on the WhatsApp group, has offered. He's got a lot of experience of making contacts through satellites and also using the transponder on the space station when it goes over. He's offered to come along to the school to demonstrate this to the kids in the school, which I think would be fantastic. And I have to say, my youngest daughter, who is a science teacher in a secondary school where she works, has never shown the slightest interest in amateur radio, but she's very keen to get her dad and any of my friends to come and help out at the school to do this demonstration. So really looking forward to setting that up over the coming weeks. So back to you, Jeff. ON8NT G4IWO.
For IWO, the 28th November time. Yeah, that's some very good news there, Nick, about UARC, the ham fest there, and about probably a HF net on 40 or 20 or whatever, and also about satellite work there at the school of your youngest daughter. That's very interesting. So yeah, things to develop actually. Let's go to Bob, November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango. Or 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Bob.
ON8NT and 4XAT. First of all, I agree with Nick. We should talk about a little bit about an HF net. I think that would be nice. And Frank, the sunsets at Dido are just beautiful, and I can't get over how late they are. I've seen sunsets, say, after 9 p.m. up to about 10 p.m., and they're beautiful when you're sitting outside out there in front of the shear house and looking across. It really is. They really are beautiful. I have some photos in my collection. The other thing is, although my German pronunciation, especially probably of names, isn't good, I would say that it's crew time, and it's Kilo, Romeo, Uniform, Tango, Echo India November, his last name. He was born in Königsberg, but he grew up in Kiel, and his father was a school teacher there of some kind. And of course, he was in the German Navy during the Second World War. But after the war, the British took him to Wilhelmshaven to dismantle the shipyard there. Now, of course, I've been to the museum there, and I know that the Navy base is right behind it. I'm not quite sure exactly where the shipyard was then, but he worked for the British Navy at the end of the war in Wilhelmshaven, and then later, even though after much difficulty, eventually they went to the United States to work for a fire major agency here. But I was just interested if there is anything over there about him, because apparently he was a pretty smart man, and apparently he did a lot of work for both sides, I guess. If we want to put it that way. And thank you, Jeff, for running the net. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the members that check in and all the watchers on YouTube and listeners on YouTube. Thank you very much. And with that, 73 to all, but I'll stay until we close down. Oscar, November 8, November Tango, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango. 73 to all. Okay, brilliant. Well, November 4, X-Ray Alpha Tango, the group 08, November Tango. Well, just checking if Mike 0, Alpha India Alpha is on the GB7HX repeater. Paul, do you have a chance to come in to say hello from 08 November Tango and the Deep Blue group from Pennine? Nothing heard. Let's go for a final round there with some final remarks, and I go to Scotland first of all. Golf Mike 4 Juliet Kilo Zulu, the group 08 November Tango. For your final remarks, Keith, go ahead.
November Tango with the group Jim 4JKZ for my finals, and yes, Mike, echo-worthy batteries. It's interesting that over here in the UK also, when I place some orders on the third well-known site, they are Chinese companies based in London or the Midlands. So you're not alone. You're not alone. I put the link, by the way, up on WhatsApp for that one I was talking about, or the one that is an additional £5, but it does have USB output on it, so good for your hotspot if HF is not so good, you said. So just food for thought there, and good on the schools as well, Nick. That's a grand idea. I know you were talking earlier about trying to get a link up to the ISS, but someone to go over and talk about it would be grand. It would be useful to get someone talking on our group as well on the best way to link to satellites. There's so many videos out there, just don't know which one to watch. But there we go. Okay, well, I'll make this my final, and very good evening to everyone listening and on the net. And I do have a picture to send at the end of the session there. To Jeff, November Tango with group Jim 4JKZ, Scottish Borders.
Okay, thank you very much, Keith, for your contribution and for the picture. I will probably also have a picture after you. You go first and then I go after you. Let's go to Germany for the final remarks. Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey and Delta 8 BDT, the group 8 November Tango. Go ahead, Mike and Adriana.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey was the final. Yes, thank you very much for hosting the net, Jeff. Thank you very much, everyone, for your company and interesting thoughts and insights. It was very entertaining again, and also very interesting. And I wanted to mention one thing. I saw on DX heat, which is a DX cluster, that there these days that there's interesting station to be heard even in Europe, so it seems, on CW, but also on FT8. And this is Victor Papa 6 Whiskey Romeo. Victor Papa 6 Whiskey Romeo from Pitcairn Island in the South Pacific, on the island of Fletcher Christian, the mutiny of the Bounty. And he seems to be an American tourist staying there for a few days and working DX. And I think it could be worth a try to work him via WSJTX with FT8 or even FT4. I'm not quite sure about that. So I will be on the lookout for that. So thank you again. Have a very nice end of the weekend, a very good weekend coming up. To remind you that there will be the World All Europe contest also in SSB on Saturday and Sunday, and this should be very interesting for some tests perhaps. So see you all again, hopefully next week. Wishing you to stay safe and have a good time. Until then, this was Steel 1 BJW 73 from Northern Germany, putting the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango with the finalists. Thank you for this interesting evening and for hosting the Net Chef. And certainly I will send the photos which Frank will send me via email to you. I think that will be, I'll post it on the Facebook page of the Pennine Hams, if it's okay with Nick. So that, or I'll send them to Mike. So this would be better. Mike is in the WhatsApp group of the Pennine Hams, and this will be the easiest way to distribute them. So Mike can put it in the WhatsApp group of the net, and then everybody can see the photos. And it's not on Facebook. I think this will be the best way. So, yes, greetings from Northern Germany to all of you, and hope to see you on the band and meet you down the log. 73 and 88, this was Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango, handing the microphone back to Oscar November 8 November Tango for the group.
Okido, Mike and Adriana, thank you very much, and thank you very much for the tip about the Pitcairn Islands, Victor Papa 6 Whiskey Romeo, and also about the pictures from Frank. Yeah, maybe on the WhatsApp group. I'm not on Facebook, but on WhatsApp. Well, yeah, I prefer that, so to say. Okido, let's go to Frank, Delta Golf 6 Oscar Alpha Yankee, for your final remarks, Frank, from our 8 November Tango Weather Group.
Yeah, just a short word to Bob. Bob, let us email about this German officer. We try to find something on German internet pages. The time before the visit of Mike and Adriana, I've been at the submarine and I've been meeting a very interesting woman. She was the daughter of a German submarine captain. Her name was Beatrix von Hartmann, and her father was Brett von Hartmann, a U-boat commander during the Second World War, and she told me a lot of things, but it's too much to repeat it here right now. Maybe we meet sometime, or they will probably be ready to tell you the story about that. That was so interesting. That was really worth the visit or the drive to meet her. That was just we just met by mistake randomly. And I've been looking at the northern sky. Currently, there is no activity. There might be a faint glow close to the horizon, but that may also be street lights. But there might be another wave of particles coming, so stay alert. And the pictures will be sent by me, but the pictures will be taken by my son Finn. So he has been doing all the work and took a few pictures. And I might also add a link to a night lapse video showing one of the other activities, the polar light activities. Earlier in August, and that's it. So I will have to have some sleep after the concert and all the many activities. So I will be probably back on the radio not before the weekend or so. Thanks for the net, for the work, for the nice information, interesting information and stuff. That is so much fun. I can only repeat it over and over again. Thank you very much. 73. Until the next time.
Okay, Frank, and thank you very much. Thank your son for taking the pictures. That's brilliant. That's very good. And also the story about the daughter of the captain of the U-boat. I think these kind of stories are sometimes very, very interesting. I hope someone will write that down, because the problem is if that person dies, she takes her story with her, and no one will never hear about that. So I think it's something that probably should be written down for the next generations to learn from. Okay, I will skip you, Nick. I will skip you for the last man standing in Chai, and I go first of all to November 4, X-ray Alpha Tango. Bob, go ahead for your final. I think Bob already said 73s that night. He already said 73s to everyone. Thank you very much, Bob, for being there and for all your information. And I hope to catch you again next week. And let's go to Nick now. Go for India Whiskey Oscar, the group for the final words. Go ahead, Nick.
An 8NT from G4IWO in the group. Thank you very much, Jeff. And first of all, thank you for your chairing of the net this evening and for everyone's contributions. And Adriana, of course, do post photographs and other information on Facebook whenever something looks worth sharing with other people. Just go ahead and do it. Just as I said earlier, reminder that next week we have a speaker about setting up and running a remote HF station, something that is more and more feasible now, given the technology of the some of the modern SDR radios and the network capabilities that are built inside them, and something that would probably enable more people to operate bigger stations that they can't afford, that they could never set up in their houses or in their locality, but enable them to have a great deal of fun through one aspect of our hobby. And thank you as well for the various tips on the way of DX, including the VP6 station there from the Pitcairn Islands. I think it's one I haven't worked myself yet. So I'm going to wish everyone 73s on behalf of the club, and great to see people tonight. And thank you to our viewers on YouTube and those that pick this up during the week, listen to it or snippets of it afterwards. I hope you enjoy our discussions here. We are a very, very friendly, open group of people, and please do comment or join in, even better, when you're able to or would like to. So 73s to you as well. Back to you, Jeff. And 8NT in the group, G4IWO.
All right, WO, November. Thank you very much, Nick. And thank you very much to everyone for all the contributions. There were very interesting tips and tricks passing by here. And also thank you very much to everyone on the YouTube group, be it this evening or in the coming days or weeks when you look to that. I would say safety trees to everyone. I hope to catch you all next week. And it's picture time, and I think Keith will send a picture first. Go ahead, Keith. Quite some blocks missing, Keith, and even 2 rows that I missed. In the first half, I have 2 rows that I was missed. If you could send that again. That's all the problem, Keith. Perfect picture with me. The 2 dogs, probably your dog and his boy or girlfriend each eye.
Unfortunately, yeah, the one is Orla still got, and the Springer Spaniel with that enormous pink tongue is my boy who passed away last year, unfortunately. But it's one that I think that's a lovely picture. That one in particular, and when we were visiting a tower up here in the Borders. Jeff, go ahead.
Okay, very nice picture. I hope everyone got the picture 100%. Just give a little break.
100% in New Jersey.
Very good here in northern Germany. Do you want BJW?
Okay, brilliant. I will send a picture to QRX.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot
And we're seeing through the centre of a few of the blocks above Jeff. Go ahead.
I tried to send it again, Maurice.